Okay, guys, we're back for the second half of the Premier League table predictions. I had to go to the toilet, I'm afraid. So, yeah, that's why I was rushing a little bit. But, yeah, back onto it. Okay, so I was talking about Southampton in, I believe it was 13th place. So into 12th place now, I'm going to go for Wolverhampton Wanderers. They've got a new manager, Bruno Lage. I think I read up recently he was on the Swansea City coaching staff when Carlos Carvajal was manager, and Swansea ended up getting relegated to the Championship. I don't know what that would mean with this manager in charge. Obviously, he did win a trophy last season, I believe. I do think, of course, Wolves, of course, were always going to go for a Portuguese boss. It was quite inevitable with most of the squad being Portuguese. And obviously Nuno Espirito Santo's left. Wolves were quite fragile defensively last season. They did lose quite a lot of games last season, dropped a lot of points. I think the injury to Raul Jimenez was a big problem for them. Wolves did suffer quite a few injuries. They have got some very, very talented youngsters with potential. Neto, Silva, Podence. There's been linked to the move away for Adama Traore and Conor Cody. We'll get onto that a little bit later on. But for me, I think, Wolves not going to be in any danger of relegation. They're not going to be, I don't think they will be pushing towards Europe this season. They could surprise me. I don't know. But yeah, for me, I'm going to say Wolverhampton Wanderers are going to finish in 12th in the Premier League. At 11th place, I'm going to go for West Ham. I think West Ham United, of course, had a terrific season last season. Take your hats off to David Moyes. He did an incredible job last year in taking the Hammers to Europe. To be fair, it was quite unexpected, from the start of the season. They did struggle quite a bit, and, West Ham fans probably might have thought they were heading for another relegation battle. There's been talks of a takeover at the London Stadium with Philip Beard interested in buying the club from Sullivan and Gold and Karen Brady. They have got a very, very good squad in their team. I think, they need to sign a striker. I don't know if they have got one in, but they need to sign a striker. For sure. I mean, Michail Antonio can't do it all on his own, can he? I think Ben Rama, if they can keep hold of players such as Rice and Souček, would be absolutely terrific for them. I think that they will stay at the club. I don't think they're going to be heading anywhere unless Declan Rice heads to Man United. I don't think he's going to Chelsea. I really, really don't. But we'll have to see what happens. And I hope West Ham do well in Europe. I really, really do. West Ham have a very, very, very good fan base. And I think Upton Park was a legendary stadium to play in. The London Stadium, I didn't really rate it for a couple of seasons. I think, you start to warm towards it a little bit. But yeah, I don't think West Ham will be up there again. I think, the fact that they are in Europe could be a struggle. And will they be playing Astra fucking Gugu? I don't know. Because West Ham have struggled against them, been knocked out of the Europa League twice by them. Obviously, they won't have to go through it via qualifying round. But yeah, they just hope they don't get Astra Gugu in their group stage. I don't know where they are. So yeah, good luck to West Ham, but for me, David Moyes, you need to sign a decent striker. Okay, into the top 10 of the Premier League. In 10th place, I'm going to go for Rafa Benitez's Everton. Everton have had a bit of a poor pre-season. Rafa Benitez, of course, not the most popular choice at Goodison Park. Obviously, with his Liverpool links, very similar to Steve Bruce, who took over from Rafa after he left Newcastle. You know, and there was a lot of people who were very angry about this. I've got some Everton supporting friends. Everton Rose, please subscribe to her channel. She's a brilliant YouTuber. And, you know, please give her a lot of respect, because she's a wonderful person, and she does a lot of hard work talking about Everton, and she really cares about the club. And the Blue Boys Network, formerly known as Network Michael D. I watch his football streams all the time. They are really funny. It's incredible watching Mike and John. So please tune in and watch, because it's something that you don't want to miss. But yeah, Everton for me, they've signed players like Townsend and 34-year-old Asmir Begovic. You know, adding players like that into the team. I think obviously Rafa Benitez has always got a stable defence. They didn't really show that when they played at Old Trafford in pre-season, but when it really matters, I think Everton will begin to perform. You know, they do have obviously Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison in the team. And yeah, you know, Everton have had a very, very tough summer with Carlo Ancelotti leaving for Real Madrid. They've had a couple of very average seasons. You know, things have been quite tough for a few years now at Everton. But for me, obviously, and Gylfi Sigurdsson as well, with what we've heard about him being suspended from the club due to alleged rumours of him doing inappropriate things. Yeah, it's been a very, very torrid time for Everton, but they'll be hoping to start the Premier League, and you know, on a high with positives. But I don't think they will be. I don't think they'll be doing anything special this season. I'm going to say Everton to finish 10th in the table. Okay, in 9th place, I'm gonna go for Arsenal. Arsenal have, I don't know where to begin with them, to be honest. They've really struggled. They have fallen from grace so much. You know, since that season where they missed out on the title to Leicester. You know, they finished 5th in 2017. They finished, I think it was 6th in 2018. 2019, they finished 5th again in Unai Emery's first season. They finished 8th in the 2020 season, and they finished 8th again last season. Defensively, always Arsenal have been a shambles, to be brutally honest. Always seem to be a shambles at the back. You know, never seem to learn from their mistakes. The club's in turmoil. There's a lot to be worried about. Obviously, they do pick up some great players, and they just end up flopping. Like, you know, Ben White, is he going to be good for Arsenal? I don't know. Willian, and Chelsea, a player who Chelsea decided to get rid of. Arsenal decided to sign him, like David Luiz. They like to sign average players with afros at the moment in the mid-30s. Do Arsenal, sorry. And, you know, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he hasn't got a goal-scoring touch. His form was poor last season after he signed that new contract. Arsenal just don't seem to score many goals. You know, for me, for Arsenal, I think they've got a lot of. I think they've just got immature players. That's what I think. I think, you know, it's just my judgment. I don't want to slag off Arsenal. I really don't. But like some of the players for me have a bit of a weird attitude. I think, you know, Aubameyang with his constant Travis Scott haircuts and getting 15-year-old haircuts, and I don't know, you should just be focusing on your performances on the pitch rather than, you know, thinking about what your next haircut is. Granit Xhaka, for me, is a bit of a liability. He always scores against United. He's a player that irritates me. But yeah, Xhaka, he lacks discipline, and he lacks, and he has got mistakes in him. And I don't know. I think it's. I think obviously for Arsenal, I'm expecting another rough, tough season. It's going to be quite a rebuild for them to get back to where they were, because they have fallen from grace from where they were in the Wenger era. But yeah, is Mikel Arteta the man? I don't know. I'm not too trustworthy with him. I think he could be sacked this season, but let's wait and see. Okay, we're going to go into 8th place now. This might become as a bit of a surprise, actually. I'm going to go for Leicester City. I think, yeah, Leicester finish in the Europa League places back-to-back. You know, missing out on the final day. They did win the Community Shield, which puts them on the high, but maybe, I don't know, maybe after they won the FA Cup, they seem to be very, very below par. You know, they lost to Chelsea, they lost to Tottenham. They just didn't seem really focused after that, and I think, you know, if they start quite poorly to this season, it could be a bit of a struggle. I don't think they'll struggle bad, but yeah, I think maybe Leicester might miss out on Europe this season. They have got a bit of an expectation, but I don't think it would be a bad thing if Leicester did miss out on Europe. Obviously they've signed Patson Daka, who's been highly rated from his performances last season. They've got Samari in the midfield, you know, and I think if they can keep hold of good players in the team, you know, I think Soyuncu is a very good player, and I think, you know, they have got some excellent talents in the team. Obviously, Jamie Vardy will still be very, very key. I think Kelechi Iheanacho is very good at picking up goals. James Maddison, of course, he's been linked to the move away to Arsenal. But yeah, for me, I think maybe this time might not be Leicester's year, and I think they'll finish 8th. In 7th place, I'm going to go for Aston Villa. Aston Villa, since losing Jack Grealish to Manchester City, you know, I think, you know, with the players that they've got in, Leon Bailey, Emi Buendia, Ollie Watkins, up top, he's got Danny Ings coming in as well. I think Villa could be a very, very dangerous team. And I think, you know, they might have a very, very, very good season under Dean Smith. I think obviously they battle relegation in the first season. The second season, they seem to finish mid-table. They did have some really good games, of course, when they beat teams like Liverpool 7-2. You know, that game was fantastic for Villa. And yeah, I think, you know, they've got lots and lots of quality, and, you know, they can spend a lot more money with this Jack Grealish sale. You know, and I think the fact that Aston Villa have all those funds and, you know, it can keep them financially stable, I do think, you know, it could be, it could have a hugely positive effect on them. And yeah, I don't know, why not? You know, Villa used to be contenders for Europe all the time, and you know, why not try again. You know, why not try and push for those European places and make something great? You could be the next Leicester or something like that. I don't know. You know, in their current status, but yeah, I have a good feeling about Aston Villa, and I think they're going to finish 7th in the Premier League. In 6th place is another surprise team in where I think they'll finish. Leeds United are going to finish 6th in the Premier League for me. I think Leeds finished 9th last season, obviously with the talent of their team, and if they can play to the heights that they did last season, I think Marcelo Bielsa can expand on that and can make things a lot better. I think people say, oh, you know, Sheffield United in their first season did really, really well. Second season, they ended up getting relegated. I don't think Leeds will. Leeds United are a huge, huge club. And I think, you know, that Marcelo Bielsa, with the expectation, he's a bit of like a Pep Guardiola. You know, he likes to, you know, he expects high demands, and he's a very fair man as well. And I think, you know, Leeds will be a lot more defensively solid this season. I know they lost 6-2 to us last season, and they managed to avoid defeat to Man City. And I think, you know, they do tend to do quite well against the bigger sides as well, particularly Ellen Road. And Ellen Road is going to be a fiercely difficult ground to be playing at. Trust me, it's going to be quite scary. To play at that stadium. So yeah, I think Leeds United, I have a positive feeling about them. They signed a guy from Barcelona. I was speaking to someone earlier about it. For me, I think, you know, if Leeds can add some more great signings, I think, you know, they could have a very, very good season. So I'm going to say Leeds are going to finish 6th. In 5th place, I'm going to go for Nuno Espirito Santo's Tottenham Hotspur. At first, when he first came in, and the Harry Kane links and the move away and the avoiding training and stuff like that, I thought, you know, Spurs were going to be in a really, really, really poor position. You know, they could be bottom half, could be mid-table, like where Arsenal are right now. And, you know, you've got to say, you know, Tottenham do seem a little bit more encouraging. I watched them through the Mind series, where Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham played in a pre-season tournament. Chelsea won it. It's like a group stage thing. But yeah, Tottenham did win 1-0 against Arsenal. Goal from Heung-min Son. They did look quite promising with the players that they've got in their team. I think Nuno Espirito Santo, like he did at Wolves, maybe not quite last season, but the season before and the season before that, when they first came into the Premier League and they were playing in Europe, they did seem quite resoundly and defensively quite solid. They've got Galini coming in, who's a backup goalkeeper to Hugo Lloris after Joe Hart's departure to Celtic. I think Gazzaniga as well, he's gone to Fulham. And yeah, I think he does play with quite a solid formation. I don't know if that's going to be good for Tottenham fans. Obviously, he wasn't the top choice and they struggled to get managers in. But I think Nuno is quite a reliable, safe pair of hands, really. I think Tottenham might do a lot better than people might have expected. I'm expecting now Harry Kane to stay. I don't think City will spend another £100+ million on Harry Kane since they spent that on Jack Grealish, because splashing money about like it's water. For me, I think that Tottenham are going to get 5th place. In 4th place, I'm going to go for Liverpool. Liverpool, who won the title in 2020. I think, obviously with Van Dijk coming back after a long time out with injury, and obviously the return and obviously the new signing Kanate, those two are going to be very, very difficult to get the ball past. And with the two attacking fullbacks, Alexander Arnold and Andy Robertson, I think Liverpool's defence is going to be quite difficult to break down. But it's going forward for me because their attacking abilities, Firmino, Salah and Mane, of course, have been, always a big link together. They've always worked well together since Jurgen Klopp, started playing them together. They won a Champions League. They've won a Premier League title. For me, I think it will be a top 4 finish for them. And you do worry a little bit about Liverpool because the front three, do seem to struggle, a little bit because they don't seem to struggle. Sorry, what I meant is that they're all they seem to struggle with. They seem to struggle with the ages at the moment because Liverpool, both Mane and Salah and Firmino are all at the age of 29, and they've got a lot of players in their early 30s or late 20s, and they're going to have to bring in some younger additions to the squad. Van Dijk, I believe he's 30 now. So it's like I said, it is going to be a bit of a struggle. And I have to say, I think it is from Liverpool's point of view, I think next season will be a bit of a rebuilding job in terms of bringing in new players, because I don't think a big club like Liverpool can allow 30-year-olds to carry a club, because like in about 7 years' time they'll be retiring or something like that. So apologies if there was like any little like pauses or stops or anything like that, or if I'm stuttering. I'm just rambling on at the moment. Okay, in third place, this is going to be a bit of a surprise actually, but the Premier League table isn't always accurate, is it? In third place, I'm going to go for Manchester City. Yes, that's right, I'm going to go for Manchester City. Okay, I'm not trying to be biased here, but there's been times where a team's bought a player for a huge amount of money. Like Paul Pogba, for example. I know United hadn't been blessed with Premier League titles before that and post Sir Alex Ferguson. But for me, I think, I don't know, I think City, of course, they could have a bit of an off-season. They can. Obviously, Grealish is going to have to live up to high expectation with that price tag of £100 million. Can he live up to that? I hope for the best for him. Don't have a problem with Jack Grealish. Obviously, going to City wouldn't have been my preferred choice, of course. But they've got, I think the fact that they've lost Aguero, and I don't think the Harry Kane thing is going to happen. They might not be playing with a proper striker. Obviously, the false 9 formation did really, really work for Manchester City, and they're going to be without Foden and De Bruyne to start off the season. And I don't know, it could make things hard for Manchester City in terms of a Premier League title challenge. So I don't know. I think it could be a bit of a struggle for City. They might start superbly perfect and everything, because you know everyone raves about Man City and predicts them to win the league every year. But yeah, for me, I don't know. I think City might struggle this season. I really, really do, because I don't think Jesus is is a great goal scorer. He's going to get you tons and tons of goals, is it? You know, he'll probably chip in with a few a season. You know, but yeah, I'm not that sure about Manchester City this season. I could be horribly, horribly wrong, and people start laughing at me. That's fine. I'll take it on the chin. In second place, I'm going to go with the champions of Europe, Chelsea. Yeah, I think, you know, obviously Chelsea being champions of Europe, they've been looking for a striker. Obviously, Timo Werner couldn't live up to the expectations that he managed to create when he was at Leipzig. And I think, you know, Lukaku coming in from Inter Milan, I don't know. I think, you know, a lot of people did disrespect Lukaku. I think I was one of them. I've got to admit I was one of them. I was very critical of Lukaku. And I don't know, I found him very inconsistent. I found him very, at times I found him a bit lazy. You know, and he does still have respect for Man United. He's not salty or anything, you know, and I like that. And I like what he's done at Inter Milan. Chelsea, you know, sold him. He went to West Brom on loan. They sold him to Everton. His first season, he was excellent. I think, you know, he was very, you know, I think he was definitely trying to prove to Chelsea he wanted to be their #1 striker. You know, and he's come back, you know, and they wanted Haaland at first. And I think under Thomas Tuchel it could work very, very well, but sometimes he struggles with his touch. You know, and he did have a few bad moments at United, and United fans didn't really take to him very, very well. Can he live up to that sort of thing at Chelsea? He can start a season well, but it doesn't always end great for him. You know, he can't. I know he's won a title now. Could that be a difference maker for him? I'm not sure. The Premier League's very different to the Italian league, so to Serie A. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. But can Lukaku live up to those expectations? And you know, Chelsea's highest goal scorer last season was Jorginho with 7, and some of them were penalties. So yeah, I don't know what Chelsea are going to be like. And top of the league for me, I'm going to go with my team, Manchester United. And now you're going to call me an embarrassment, you're going to call me deluded, you're going to call me this, that and whatever. But why not? Why not? Why can't we challenge for the title? We've got probably, you know, one of the best young wingers in the modern game. You know, forget about Messi going to PSG because he's in his mid-30s. When I talk about young players, Sancho could be the next big thing, and he's been linked with a move to United for years, and he's finally got his move. Looks like we're going to bring in Varane, and you know, Harry Maguire, I know I've never had a bad thing to say about him. I've never have, but I do think, you know, alongside a better partner in Varane, I think, you know, it will make the team a lot more solid. And he had an amazing Euros, and so did Luke Shaw. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the criticism of Charlie Austin that he gave him in that pre-season game, saying he can't defend, I think that's rubbish, personally. I think he definitely can defend. Look at how he plays against Raheem Sterling in the Manchester derbies, you know. Maybe from an attacking point of view he can improve, but defensively he's definitely talented, and he is very, very well capable of defending for me. You know, I think Cavani, you know, if he can live up to how he played last season, that could be terrific. We're going to be without Marcus Rashford to start off the season. I don't really think it's going to be a miss, to be brutally honest. I think Mason Greenwood was absolutely superb last season. And I think, you know, he can live up to that. And I think some of the football that we do play is terrific. And I think defensively we need to improve. And I think, you know, we have to be a bit more expansive. You know, we need to avoid this McTominay Fred shit, because we can't play with those two. I know we have won games with them both before, but it just makes us look sluggish. It just, yeah, we need, you know, Donny van der Beek needs to start games. Paul Pogba needs to start games. We can't play McFred in the midfield, you know, and Victor Lindelof. You know, if they're going to be on the bench, that's fine. You know, if it's Fred and Lindelof on the bench, or McTominay and Lindelof on the bench, and you play Pogba alongside Fred, you know, Pogba or Van der Beek alongside Fred or McTominay. Lindelof, for me, I don't think he's going to be in the team very much. I think he'll get FA Cup appearances. I think he'll get into games during the Christmas period. But for me, I think, you know, why not? I think, you know, it's time that we stop being a banter club and we can actually really say, you know, surprise the league. You know, the Premier League is full of surprises. It really is, you know. I think sometimes it's easy to say, oh, City will win the league easily, or Liverpool win the league easily. You know, why can't somebody else do it? You know, I know we used to be that team that everybody hated, you know, but why not? Why can't we go for it? That's my message, and I believe, you know, I'm not overhyped and excited saying we're going to win the league, you know, but I just think with the signings we've got and what we know that we can produce, why can't we win it? Thank you guys for watching this video. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe and comment below. I'll upload the first part and the second part to come. This is Brad the Lad. We shall see you all soon. Bye-bye.